Greetings, believers and non-believers. This is Rabbit Ape, here to just ramble about theistic evolution. Now, I'm deliberately doing this off the top of my head without having looked too much into it. I watched the Amazing Atheists video a couple days ago. I can see why he thinks the way he does. I obviously don't think the same way. But my thoughts on that in general, I guess it depends on how theistic you're trying to be. And I would probably have to talk to some specific theistic evolutionists to see where exactly we would start to disagree on things. But speaking for myself and myself only, even though I go around calling myself an atheist, I think that's the most, definitions are, language and words are very nebulous things, and, we can use a word any way we want, but if we're going to communicate with each other, we need to be clear about what those definitions are, and, for the sake of simplicity and clarity, yeah, I do call myself atheist sometimes, but that's not to say I have a dogmatic, unshakable belief that there is no X, Y, or Z. I'm just waiting to see evidence of that. I haven't seen any yet, or anything even close to really a good argument for any kind of details, for anything other than a deistic sort of God, And I don't call myself a deist, but in a way, I think, because I kind of think it doesn't matter. Like, if we were in a deistic kind of universe, for all we know, that would be indistinguishable and, the exact same thing, basically, as an atheistic universe. But then you can rewind that a little bit more and, going back to what we mean by definitions. What exactly do you mean by God? If a theistic evolutionist is someone that believes in God and accepts the theory of evolution, then all that really would entail would be that, I guess you can be someone that accepts science as the best method humans have of gleaning truth out of the universe with our limited senses and all that kind of stuff, and you can observe that, yeah, evolution is a pretty very, very likely answer for, the data that's out there. And yeah, it's not mutually exclusive with believing in some kind of theistic thing. You could still believe in some kind of interventionist God, I guess. And yeah, it's, when you got random mutations or whatever, yeah, the flying spaghetti monster is moving nucleotides with his noodly appendage. I don't know. It could be. So, the thing is, that's a really good example. And this ties into all the stuff that Sam Harris talks about with dropping the word atheist. That's not what I want to do. Because there's good reasons to keep that. The word carries so much baggage right now and all that kind of stuff. But if we fought enough to where it became acceptable, then it would be that much more liberating. But at the same time, in a way, I'm finding myself inclined to avoid the word because, yeah, people I'm arguing with or interacting with presume too many things about what I think or what I stand for. And then, they hear the word atheist and they think that they know where I'm coming from, or they have a knockdown argument against atheism even without knowing my position, and yada, 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 yada. So, as far as being a theistic evolutionist or a deist, those kind of things, on a personal level, obviously, any human is free to believe what they want. You can't want to believe something, but that's language for you. You know what I mean? Okay. Anyone is free to believe what they want, practice what they want in the privacy of their own home and their own mind, as long as they're not harming anyone else or interfering with anyone else's ability to do or practice as they want in the privacy of their home and mind, right? Your freedom, or my freedoms end where yours begin, is another way of saying that. So there's that. So on any individual level, like, even as vitriolic as I might get with arguing against anyone, in these YouTube videos and stuff like that, never am I advocating something like making your religion against the law, or, locking you up in an insane asylum until you, forsake Christ or something like that. No, that's just ridiculous. I'm not trying to do anything like that. You know, we don't have to pass laws against proclaiming belief in God or anything like that. We just have to have a different mode of conversation to where, you know, to the effect that you're trying to argue for something that matters, you know, which would be something that, you know, affects human beings, you know, like any kind of public policy decision, say like stem cell research or anything like that. Faith alone shouldn't be enough of a reason for anything. I'm not saying you can't have faith or anything like that. No, of course not. But you can't present that as a good argument for, you know, whatever kind of proposition. You've got to bring verifiable evidence to the table and be able to rationally discuss things, which includes admitting the possibility that you could be wrong about anything and everything that you might have preconceived already, anything you might hold dear. Everything gets put on the table and weighed by the evidence available to it, and yeah, to the extent that you can't muster evidence for your arguments, then your arguments aren't going to be taken seriously. So that's that. So yeah, if you're a theistic evolutionist, you know, that's depending on the kind of situation we're in. You know, like I'm not going to say I'm not going to argue with someone like a Don Exodus 2, but it's certainly not going to be about anything related to evolution, because I don't think there's anything to disagree with there, and he's actually better qualified to speak on it than I am in the first place. So, and he's got real qualifications. He actually knows some stuff, not like that one guy, copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Oh, it's like playing telephone. And something you got to keep in mind is I've got, I guess, different kinds of arguments I make in a video, or different rationales for some of them. Let's say, for example, not that I plan on doing this anytime soon, but take someone like Don Exodus 2. He's actually better qualified and more knowledgeable on the subject of evolution than I am. And there very well could be some things about it we could disagree with, but that's probably not, you know, a debate I'm going to try to get into anytime soon. And I'm not planning on this, but it would be conceivable that I could make a debate video with him on something like, say, the existence of God. That's not quite the same thing as when I am doing something like these Venom Fang X videos, because you know, even though he could very well be a troll for all we know, but for better or for worse, he is infecting people with really bad ideas, demonizing science, so to speak, and that is something bad that I think should be stopped. You know, not by legal means, but I've got a different kind of beef with someone like Venom Fang X than someone like Don Exodus 2, because the kind of things that he would be espousing are inherently less dangerous or less harmful, in my opinion, in my estimation. Willing to discuss why, yada 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 yada. So you know, I'm not going to try to pigeonhole myself. If all the Venom Fang X's of the world suddenly became Don Exodus 2's, those might be the people that I would be wanting to have a different kind of discussion with. So there's a whole continuous range there. You know, someone like Jesus Freak, yeah, you know, he's got a lot of bad ideas, I think, and it's I don't want to get into why right now. And I'm just pulling these names out of the air. I'm not trying to pick on anyone or single anyone out. But yeah, Jesus Freak 777. That's someone I'm going to disagree with more than Don Exodus 2. Probably not quite as much as Venom Fang X. You know, and so it would be conceivable that you could put people on a whole continuum there, and depending on what they're arguing for, you know, it's the whole other thing too is, yeah, some people are more infective than others. You know, even I think I've got good ideas and all that kind of stuff. I gotta stop saying all that kind of stuff. I think I've got lots of good ideas, and yeah, I refer to myself as a meme vector, and yeah, I've got no shame about that, and I understand that, you know, that's what people want to do. So in a way, I see myself here on YouTube That's the main part of it right now. But I'm engaged in some kind of war of ideas. Yeah, but it's a very complicated, nebulous, and my reasons and my motive. I guess my reasons are my motivations. My reasons and my methods and my approaches are all very dependent on context, and it's all really complicated. So, yeah, theistic evolutionists. To the extent that they're not trying to get creationism taught in science classes, great. you know, on a philosophical level, yeah, I probably disagree with you about some things, but it's not quite as crucial. Hope that works. These videos are